If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single week I'm joined there by the water sipping, cane swinging, Disney freak that she is. It's the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning. Good afternoon. I was up most of the night, hence my appearance today. So forgive me, those who are looking at me saying, "Oh, what the hell happened to you?" Well, I'm showered. That's a good thing. My hair is soaking wet right now. It's washed. But I was up all night with the elections.
Yes.
And I was texting with a mutual friend of ours most of the night, back and forth, looking at these elections, and I did not get a lot of sleep. Plus, I went to the dentist, and they tighten your braces like once a month. You go and they tighten them. This time, they tightened them so tight that I cannot chew.
Oh, no.
So my mouth is throbbing, and not in a good way, mind you. And my alignment is off now.
Okay.
And the doctor said because my teeth have shifted, or the dentist, whatever he is, dentist, they've shifted so much that I can feel my bite on the left, but the right, I can't fully bite down. If you understand, it hits on the left, but not on the right. So if I chew, I have to chew on the left, but it hurts to chew because the pain on my upper row of teeth is ridiculous right now.
I hate teeth, so this is making me cringe.
I've been eating I eat rice and beans every day for lunch, and that's soft, thank God, so I can eat that. But like anything crunchy, like hard things that you have to rip at, like pizza, I have to cut into little tiny bitty bites and just like a rabbit. It's been rough, but this week has been so hard on me. So I woke up with my mouth throbbing last night, couldn't sleep. Just couldn't sleep.
Mixed with the elections.
And the elections gave me agita. So I am not a happy camper today. And we're just we're waiting here to see what happens next.
Oh my gosh. It's funny, I thought about you. That mutual friend mentioned you in information that's getting passed back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was going to text you, but then I was like, all right, I don't know if this is too late because the coverage was going late into the night.
Yeah.
I realized at 11:45 last night, PM Eastern, that I didn't record my Wednesday New Generation podcast. So I had to go in the other room. I had a topic off the top of my head. I had to go in the other room and record while this is all going on. By the time I came back, Virginia was still too close to call, but then obviously like 5 minutes later,
they flipped. You got it. Yeah. We're waiting to see what happens, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think it looks good for us. The thing that bothers me is this whole mandate thing that's been thrown around. I don't believe in mandates. I'm sorry if you do. I'm sorry, I disagree. It's something, not getting into the whole political thing, but I don't feel like mandates are necessary. And if the mandates come into effect, it's going to be a disaster. I'm just not looking forward to it. That's my biggest concern, are these stupid mandates. I don't like them. So, I'm not against, the vaccine. If you want to take it, God bless you, you take it. I don't look differently at people who have been vaccinated. You do you, but I do not feel like somebody should be forced to take something if they don't want to take it. So I am 100% against mandates for this. And I'm worried, because now everything's going to change, and not for the better if this comes into effect. So
yeah, we were very lucky here. And again, I'm in the same exact boat as you. Same thing you just said. I agree every word. But there were other little things in the the camp that won that stood out big time. And my county, 71% went for Youngkin.
Yeah, I was watching I had the news on from 8:00 until midnight, where I mistakenly took my melatonin way too early, because and our friends going, don't fall asleep, and I'm like, I'm starting to fade, I cannot help it, I took the melatonin, I should have waited, and by midnight I was just
I said you should have waited.
I should have waited, yeah. And then I woke up at like 2 something, and of course I went to the phone, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, oh God, what's going on? So I don't know. I mean, if a miracle happens, that would be wonderful. But I'm just, it's when you deal with families, and you might not even be able to walk in a store and buy food for your children,
Right.
or clothing for your children, or it's just, it's not fair, it's not right, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah,
So,
and that's your God-given right.
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. So it's not looking good, but I have this much hope.
But you shouldn't even be in the conversation. That's the thing. It was supposed to be more of a decisive victory on one end. So you shouldn't even be in the conversation, technically.
Yeah, I'm just upset about it. And I just, it's become, it's not even left and right anymore. It's just like, what is morally right for human beings at this point? And I just don't feel like you taking away my rights to go into a store and buy food for my kids. So now I have to cross the bridge and go into another state every time I want to get a gallon of milk or whatever I need for my family to survive, because we do need food. We do have to eat.
What if somebody had explosive diarrhea and you have to go all the way to another state to get the remedies that you need, and you go, oh, I wish I could just stay in my state.
Yeah, I know. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if they will even come into effect? I don't know, but I'm just not happy about it. So, and again, if you disagree with me, God bless you. It's just my opinion. I'm not forcing it on anyone else. I'm just telling you how I feel as a human being.
That's right.
So
opinions are like assholes.
Absolutely. Everybody has one.
Everybody has one.
And,
and they all stink.
Everybody stinks. Yes. And I'm stressed out. We're filming on a Wednesday, because this weekend is a long one for me. Very busy. I'm going to Rhode Island Comic-Con, and I'm 50-50 on this weekend. I am torn. I am excited to be going, because me in conventions. I love them. I love meeting fans. I love it. My girlfriend, my best friend, Betty, is coming with me. And we'll be rooming together for 3 nights. That's exciting, because I don't get to see her very often.
Bring the camera. Should be some laughs.
You need content. But on the flip side, I am getting to the point where I am getting separation anxiety from my kids. Every time I go somewhere, I say to myself, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And part of me loves it, and then part of me hates it, because I hate being away from the kids. And then my son came over, and he put it was such a tender moments run in my family.
Yes.
He put his arm around me, and he goes, Mom, he goes, I'm really going to miss you from this Thursday to late Sunday evening. Because they asked how long I was going to be away, and I was like, well, Thursday until late Sunday evening. And he came and he hugged me, and it makes me emotional, because they're only little for so long. And I know people say, oh, suck it up, you're getting paid, and this, that, and the other. I understand that, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work. But on this flip side, my kids get sad when I'm gone, and I'm gone for 4 days this time.
4 days is a good chunk of time.
It's a long one. It's a long one. And my mom goes, the kids aren't the only ones that miss you. I miss you too. And I was like,
pile it on.
Yeah. I was like, well, thanks for letting me feel so guilty. I said, look, I have to work while the iron's hot here, because there's going to be months when I'm not going to get any offers, and I'm home and I'm not making $1. So, this month I'm working 3 out of the 4 weekends, and I this is my busiest month this year. I don't take many things, but there were so many good things this month, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm gone a lot. I don't know. I just, in a way, I feel the guilt is starting to come back to me
that's
again.
terrible. I'm sorry you're feeling that way.
I know.
That stinks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And then today I was like, I was such in a mood from everything. And I'm like, that's it. Next year, I'm done. I'm done. I'm doing one more year. And then December 31st of 2022, I'm hanging up the boots, so to speak. And I am going to drift off and go back under my rock, and no one's ever going to see me again. That's the way I'm doing it.
We are proud to announce that on January 2nd, 2022, or whatever you said. What was your date? What did you say?
December 31st of 2022. I have another year.
Okay, so on January 1st, 2023, we will be announcing a private signing with the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Yeah, you will be.
So she doesn't have to go anywhere.
You will be my last private signing that I do, because I'm not. I feel like 50 and Fabulous tour. Here I come. Get it while you can, people.
What if there was a mistake in your birth certificate and it's really 1 year added on? So you got to go on another year.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Or what about this? How about like Kiss, where Kiss just, they go on their farewell tour, but then they flip the lineup once and then they go on another farewell tour.
Or Terry Funk.
Yeah, you could go on a farewell tour, be like, this is my farewell tour with Shane Douglas. This is my farewell tour with PJ.
Today, that's how I feel. Now, maybe next year something wonderful happens and it brings me out to do something that I never thought I'd do. And here I am again. You can't really speak of the future. Right now, the way I feel like I got one good year left in me, and then I'm calling it quits. So I don't know.
Well, we miss you already, and you haven't gone anywhere yet.
So we have another good year of eyes up here, and then Chad will never see me or hear from me again.
And then we send your microphone to the rafters and retire it and say, we'll miss the memories.
She was wonderful, wasn't
she? All the days we spent together.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe I'll get the bug again, and maybe I'll keep going strong. I don't know. But as of today, watching your kids tell you, please don't leave.
That's gut-wrenching.
The worst. It's the worst ever, and I hate it.
Yeah. So. No, I hear you big time. Speaking of hearing, can you hear me? Is my echo as bad?
Your echo is not as bad, but it's still there. Yeah.
Now, here's what I thought of, and you might get this reference. Not a lot of people will. Do you ever listen to New Jersey 101.5?
New Jersey 101.5. Ding.
All their hosts have an echo sound to it. So I thought, wait a second. I'll be like the New Jersey 101.5 guys. Like they have an echo to them to make it sound like they're in a bigger room. Yeah, no, they're in like a small building in Hunterdon County, and they have these booming, boisterous echoes to their voice. I go, you know what? I'm stealing their gimmick.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Well, no, you sound better than you did, and I see there's some there's a couch, there's your china cabinet, there's some pictures on the wall. You've done some stuff.
There we go. The jerseys are back.
The jerseys on the wall. Yeah.
That whole wall is going to be jerseys going around. Yeah. So gotta get there. Nothing over on this wall yet.
Is this considered the man cave?
This side of it is the rec room. Man cave. The other side of this wall is the basement area with sitting and the little kitchenette and the bathroom and the bedroom and all this stuff.
Gotcha. Switching gears, how was Halloween?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best one ever, but it was pretty good. New neighborhood, had lots of offer, which was nice. Okay. We ended up going back towards our old neighborhood to meet up with some friends. Mm-hmm. But funny thing, so our new neighbors had a bonfire the night before in the driveway, and we met all the people surrounding us. They don't do it all often, but they did it to welcome us. On Sunday, I'm walking their kids around by ourselves. Like they trusted me with their kids already.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened that quickly.
And I'm sitting there being like, we still walk around with the kids, right? We're still kind of attached to them. In this neighborhood, they're just like, they're in the old school where they just let their kids run off.
How old are their children?
One kid was 7. The other kid was 5. Two different families walking around with us, right? And when we came back, I put my arm around the guy. I said, hey, what kind of brownie points do I get for bringing your kid back? I go, you don't know me.
Oh like, my God, I would never.
Yeah, crazy.
No offense to you, anyone. No, I would. First of all, I wouldn't let my kids out without me or without my husband anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like when we were little, we would go. First of all, I wasn't allowed to cross the street when I was a kid. I had to stay. There was a what are they called? A pole, a tree pole, but without the tree on it, just a pole thing. I wasn't allowed past the pole, right? And I wasn't allowed to cross the street. So I knew my boundaries, and that's where I would play. But hours would go by, and your parents would be, because that was the old neighborhood, and there was a million kids out, you know? And I told you before, we have no kids that play out here. You never see kids playing out front.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But I would never allow my kids with the new guy, because who knows?
2 days in.
That's
in.
Again,
I felt, like, well, I guess we're non-threatening, which is very nice. But also, I just didn't want to leave my older one. I think this could probably be the last year she'd want to trick or treat with her parents, right?
Okay.
So that we had that narrative going. But then the little one, it's like, I'm not letting her go by herself. She's with her sister. We're just going to go for our little walk that we always do. And then 2 kids in the neighborhood tagged along. And we're with us the whole time, and I'm making sure they're crossing the street.
Yeah,
I'm telling them to say thank you to the people giving them candy. The one,
they probably thought they were all your kids.
The one kid's bag ripped, so I had to makeshift their bag to fix their bag. Like, it was whole thing. I came back. I go, here's your kid. I go, well, what do I get now? Where's my pat on the back? I'm the new guy. I just watched your kid for 2 hours.
Where's my babysitting money?
Yeah, come on. And all they did was sit on their front lawn and hand out candy.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't do that. And then I threw the kids in a car and went 1.5 miles away to our old neighborhood. Yeah. Took them all around there just so they could see their friends. So we've got.
Did you take their kids in the car?
We did not. No, they did not. No road kids. Although this was a very busy neighborhood. This was probably the busiest I've seen a neighborhood in ages.
The new neighborhood.
The new neighborhood.
Okay.
It was just like, there's 85 pounds of candy up in my kitchen right now. Then I'm just like, well, I'm just going to ignore that.
Oh, you didn't get rid of it?
No. They're still enjoying it. Yeah. And it'll hang around for.
Oh, that they collect it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our candy was gone. We were sold out.
Well, I have stopped handing out candy. I just put a big bowl, and I usually, the last couple of years, not this year, okay, but the last couple of years, I just wrote a sign, and I was like, take 4 or 5 pieces, leave some for the next person, because you get the big chooches who just take gobs and they put it in their thing, and I'm not going to spy on people. Like, the basket's there if you want to take it, right?
Spy away.
I don't care, because I hate Halloween, and just take the candy, but share. Just be nice. And you would think the parents, if they're walking around with their kids, would be nice and say, oh, don't take all that. That's what I tell my kids, take 2 pieces.
Yeah, you would think.
Don't take a lot. Don't be a gavone your whole life. Take 2 pieces, right? So I have this thing. We went to dinner. We took the kids to dinner because my kids were like, no, we don't want to trick or treat. Right. And I said, perfect, because I hate this friggin' holiday anyway. So we put them in the car. We left, came back. Went inside. We were watching in this, where my house is positioned. So we were in the back in the sunroom watching Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, right?
Very nice.
And it was great. Nobody's ringing the doorbell. We decorated, the lights on. You knew there was candy there. Before I went to bed, it was no, I didn't go to bed. I came to the front door. It was a little after 8, I guess. And I just happened to look outside. Now I had a shitload of candy. There was hardly anything left. And we don't get that many people. So what does that tell you? That tells you that some big-ass chooches came to my house and took gobs and gobs of candy and just threw it in their bags. That's what that tells you. So I got pissed, and I said to my husband, I was like, do you believe the audacity of these people? And he goes, who cares? I don't want it in my house.
Yeah, it's gone quicker. Then it means people just move on. Yeah, right. Here come the eggs.
I said, wait a minute. That's the point is, don't be that guy. Don't be that gavone who takes 87 pieces and doesn't leave a piece for the next kid. I don't know. We're so different. Me and him, I don't even know how we're compatible sometimes because are, we're on sync in some things, but a lot of the things we disagree. We have a completely different opinion. It pissed me off, and it didn't piss him off at all. He's just like better out than in. I don't want it in our house.
Well, we ran out and I grabbed the kids' bags. I took out all the crappy candy and started throwing it in the Whoppers and
they're the worst.
Yeah, Whoppers and Dum Dums and all that crap
in the bin. I hate them. Well, we had some Heath. Heath is like, I love toffee and caramel. And so we had Heath, we had Rolos, we had Milk Duds.
Oh yeah, that's
all the ones I like, but my braces. I didn't have a piece of candy.
Shit.
I didn't have one piece of freaking candy. And I'm staring and there's still a little bit left. There's just a little bit left. And I'm like, damn, I really could go for like that Heath, but if I bite it and my brace breaks, then I gotta go back to the dentist.
And then you get that rogue piece of like something that gets stuck behind it, and you're sitting there with the pick in the mirror.
It's not worth it. So I didn't have any candy. This is the first year I think I've had no candy, which it's good for my figure, but I really wanted a piece of candy. I didn't get it.
Well, I sampled on Sunday. I haven't sampled since.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta check to see if this one's poison. Come on, this one too. That's
true.
This one looks like it's got super poison in it. Let me see.
Poison. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but yeah, it was quiet around here, so I didn't hear a thing. But the candy's gone. So chooches, you're all chooches, and I
chooches and gavones,
chooches, and just, and I know half of them probably didn't even have a costume on. That pisses me off too.
Just
when
a mask?
They have no costume on. They have a hoodie.
Oh yeah, come on.
It's like, come on. What are you supposed to be? The Unabomber? So what is that?
Maybe.
Hate it. Hate it. Go get a costuem.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I am turning into that old lady that everybody.
You're old lady that yells at the clouds.
That's me. I'm the worst. Oh my god!
I'm so happy at my new desk station. My charger's plugged right into the wall, so now I can charge my phone as it starts to die. How great is that?
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy for you.
So what do you want to do? You went out and asked for some questions.
Oh yeah.
To the Eyes Up Here universe.
I did.
We've got some, I'm sure repeats, but maybe a refresher answer might not be terrible. Okay. So what would you like to possibly discuss this week there, Queen?
Would you like to discuss some stuff? I don't care. Why don't you pick them?
Hey, have you seen Vince Russo's tweets about Vince McMahon?
No.
So, he's being the showman he is when it comes to promoting his stuff and his brand. He is promoting this podcast that he created exclusively for his Patreon, where he discusses an explosive exchange recently with Vince McMahon that has officially ended any desire or discussion or any conversations ever between the two of them.
So why was he talking to Vince in the first place?
There was a story. Somehow he got connected to him via email, I think through Shane McMahon.
I love
Vince reached out to Shane and said, hey, I'd love to help, because the creative sucks. And Shane passed him on to Vince, and they had some email exchanges, but there's this apparent very heated exchange that went down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would love to hear what it was about.
Right? Do I have to join Vince's Patreon?
That's what I'm saying. I feel weird to ask him about it because I know he's going to say, bro, I'm selling that information. I don't want to just ask him.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I should have thought of that.
But is it mean now though? Because he's an old man, you're just yelling at an old guy. Is it still really yelling with Vince McMahon?
The Vinces are too old.
Well, I mean, the one Vince is really old. Yeah. The other Vince is not that old. I mean, he's 60. That's not old. No, that's not bad.
60?
Vince is 60. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. He does.
I love Vince Russo.
Good dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Did you pull up your questions? I'm trying to find.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, here we go. I got it. I found it.
You got some?
Yeah.
I tried not to read too many of them because I like to be spontaneous with my answers.
Well, what do you want? You want me to read them to you?
Yeah.
All right, you put out a tweet. I also shared the tweet in a couple ECW Facebook groups.
ECW.
So, of course, they all stepped up to the plate. So I'll go through these and see what we got. Well, I'm gonna read what we've got.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How about this one? At Dopper6. Towards the end of ECW, you started to get more physically involved with Justin's opponents, hitting hurricanranas off the apron, etc. Did that come about by Paul persuading you to do it, or you persuading Paul to let you do it? Thanks.
Well, first of all, you're welcome. I think I just wanted to do, because usually I would get one good spot. Right. And that I think I came up with, and I was just like, oh yeah, I said, I wanted to do it like off of the apron to make it, I wanted to be seen. You know what I mean? I wanted people to see me. And I was like, well, Lita always does it in the ring. How about I do it outside of the ring for something different? And I remember being in New York. I think, was it Carino that I did it to first? I know I did it to Carino. I did to the Sandman. But that one I wanted to practice because I had, you have to jump and you have to land the right way on here, and then you have to flip your body, and we were going to the floor. So I wanted to make sure like I wasn't going to hit my head, which I did hit my head on the friggin' ring post, and that's when I split my head open.
Right.
But yeah, Paul never said to me, you need to do more. I never remember Paul saying you don't do enough, you need to do more. It was always me trying to, like, I hate to say get my spot in, but like just incorporate myself. If the guys were going to let me do something, I wanted it to be something good.
Right.
So that was that. But yeah, it was me. It wasn't really Paul.
First time you hit the hurricanrana, what were you thinking with the spinny? Were you getting a little like what?
No, it goes really quickly.
Okay.
And like it's weird because you're getting a pop, but at that time you're not focusing. Like I'm just trying to do it and get it over with and move on. Because my nerves are bad. I have awful nerves when I do spots like this. So I just wanted to get it over with. And the one time I remember, I don't even remember hitting my head, but when I got up, the front row in New York was like, you're bleeding. And I was like, oh, here, my head was literally split open. That when I went to the back, like I remember the I don't know if it was the athletic commission, because that was a thing in New York, right? I remember there were steps, and the athletic commission or a doctor or someone was right there, and Paul grabbed me and pushed me all the way up the steps, like, don't let anybody see your head. Oh I'm like, I can't even move. I'm like walking up the steps. And Carino's girlfriend at the time just grabbed a bottle of peroxide and just dumped it. On my head. I'm just sitting there. All this peroxide is all over me. And I'm just, because it was wide open. I probably should have had a stitch or two, but I never went to the hospital.
Did it sting, the peroxide?
I think it did. Yeah.
It had to. Oh my God.
But I didn't want to get an infection. So I was like, and she was so sweet, the girl. And I was like, can you clean it? Can you help? Can somebody help me? She's like, I will. And then she just started pouring in. And then we had the cotton swabs. And I don't know. Couldn't put a Band-Aid or anything because my hair was there. So I might have put gauze on my head. I don't even remember.
You didn't want to take the blood and smear it off?
I wasn't doing a promo about my my spot that I did. But it was me. It was me.
How about this one? Wrestle Mojo, big ECW fan. What were your thoughts when you were paired with the Pitbulls, as well as your thoughts on joining Shane afterward with the broken neck scenario?
When I was paired with the Pitbulls, I was super duper green and I just needed experience, and I just wanted to work. I really, really, really loved working with Gary. And I'll leave it at that. And it was different working with a tag team than it was working with a singles person. With a tag team, it's like there's 2 cooks in the kitchen,
right?
And sometimes there would be a little bit of butting heads. Although they were a great combination together. But like working with, I feel I was more successful with Shane. I just feel like with Shane, we clicked more. We clicked from the beginning. We've told this story a million times. There was a chemistry there that I don't think I had with the Pitbulls. It was a different dynamic. I've said it a million times. I wasn't comfortable in the costumes and I picked what I wore.
Right.
But I wasn't comfortable in them. But in my head, I was like, I can't dress the way I want to dress with these 2 looking the way they do. It doesn't make any sense. So level of being uncomfortable, but I got to kick major ass with those 2. You know what I mean? Like, I got to show that I wasn't afraid to take bumps. I wasn't afraid to get in there and mix it up with the boys. And, I feel like that kind of put me on the map, but then when I went through the table, that just exploded.
Yeah.
And Shane and I were just, nothing compares to Shane and I's run. Nothing.
No, unbelievable. The stuff that dreams are made of, really.
We were good. We were good together.
And to be such an identifiable group, it's hard to think that, like we talked about, we've just watched it a few months prior. You guys had physicality involved in a different part of an angle with Shane where you got beat up by him. So the fact that it was the swerve at the end and you're with him, it's like, man, when you reveal the franchise on your keister, it's a big moment because we saw how the beginning part of the story was. So it's pretty cool.
It was. And I feel like I had chemistry with everybody that I worked with. I was really good with PJ as well, but I don't think anything would touch Shane and I's partnership.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
God bless the franchise. That's all I'll say. Anthony at Anthony 1595139.
Is that your phone number, Anthony?
Go play that on the lotto tonight. Wants to know what was the craziest moment you've seen between a fan and a wrestler?
Craziest moment between a fan and a wrestler. I can tell you something I did that was really stupid. I remember getting to the building. This isn't really crazy. This is just me being not paying attention. I got to the building and there were a bunch of guys standing in a circle. And it was, from what I can see, and I didn't have my glasses on, so it was the boys. And you give a hug, you give a kiss on the cheek or whatever. And there was this guy, and I kissed him on the cheek, and it was a fan. And I go, oh. I go, oh my God, because he was just with all the boys. They were just bullshitting. Then when I came out that night, he was in the front row and he's like, you kissed me. And I gave him the finger. But I just wasn't paying attention. I was like, hello. Oh, hello. And I kissed the fan. But the craziest thing probably was all the times I would see the fans try to fight the boys.
Oh God, that's so stupid.
Breaking the bottle over Shane's head when him and Dreamer were fighting during the mixed tag, like that was really stupid. Like when the Dudleys would entice riots and then somebody would try to jump the rail, or when Shane and I would do something and we had the heat and they would punch us or spit on. That was just so stupid. Like, why? You're going to get kicked out. You're going to miss the rest of the show. Why would you do something like that? I never understood that.
Got to live for the moment.
Oh, bullshit.
Would you count mass transit as a crazy fan incident?
Well, technically, right? Because the kid wasn't a wrestler.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He told us he was a wrestler, but I guess he wasn't. He was a fan. So yeah, I guess that's a sick moment. And that's something I was there for, but didn't watch. Okay. I didn't see it, and I still haven't seen it. I haven't watched any footage of it, and I don't want to. No. It's disgusting.
How about, were you ever tricked by a fan scenario where it was a plant, but you didn't know?
No, because I'm one of the boys and I'm privy to
everything.
All right.
Okay, I'm just asking. Just asking. The Brian Pillman kid comes to mind. Like when Brian Pillman pulls the guy over the guardrail, and I think you said you knew who it was when
the redhead guy.
Yeah, the redhead guy.
Yeah, I knew who he was. Yeah.
But watching it at the time, you go, "Oh my God, he's pulling a fan over and stabbing him with a fork."
Right. Yeah. Well, we wanted to give you that "oh my God" moment. So, I mean, at one point I was a plant.
Yes, you were.
You know,
you were indeed.
And that was the most uncomfortable thing in the world.
What were you, Miss? What was it, Miss?
No, I wasn't. No, I was me. But they put.
I thought you were like a beauty queen.
No. I was no one. This was at the arena. This is when I started with Beulah.
And that's right. Yes.
They stuck me out there, and the ratio, it was like 98% male.
Yeah.
And they stick me, and I'm the only girl in this, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just looking around, and who's trying to touch me, and who's talking to me, and I'm just like, oh my God, get me out of here.
Keep it to yourself, being like, oh my God, I hope my spot comes up soon. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I had on this slutty outfit that I would never wear anywhere. You know what I mean? And I was like, please God, let this be over.
Trust me, I know what you mean. I go through that all the time. I wear these slutty outfits out and not know what to do with myself. Here's a good one. Our buddy Daniel Sykes at Fight, Wrestle, Win said he'd love to know Francine's opinion on the return/rebirth of XPW.
I don't have an opinion on that. I don't know any information. I don't care. Sorry.
So you're not worried about whether or not they will bring back the pornography aspect of XPW?
Why would I be worried about that? I mean, hey, let's put it this way. If it's a company that can get some of the boys work, God bless them. I wish them well. Everybody deserves a payday. But for me, like it's not like I'm going to call and say, oh, can I get a spot there? No, I don't care to. But if it brings more work to indie wrestlers, then by all means, I wish them the best.
Shane is technically still their world champion.
Is he really?